Hey everyone, been a while since we've done a cleaning video. Look at me, I got a mic now. Am I zoomed in? A little bit. So I just want to start by saying thank you once again for following the journey with me and my dad doing the Halloween stuff. That was an exhausting year this time. But to set up, it took us just over 10 hours. And then we performed, if you want to call it that, for like almost 5 hours. And then I cleaned up a little bit because I had my roofers come in the following morning. And I needed to clear off my driveway. And so I got maybe it wasn't too bad, it was like 5 hours of sleep. But then we took down for about 9 hours, and then I went into work. And it took me usually I can bounce back pretty quickly, but it took a couple days for me to start feeling pretty good. So thank you once again for watching that. And I know that that's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's fun to see, I guess. And it's just something my dad and I like doing. So anyway, back to your regular scheduled broadcast on this channel. Starting with this guy right here, actually. I have a lot of cars to wash, and a lot happened over the last few months. You guys saw a few things. Acquired a lot of cars over the last couple months. This being one of them, this being another one of them, the ZL1. I guess that's it. I got a couple things going in the works right now. I don't think I'm going to do it because, I don't know, the market is so strange right now. Some dealerships are discounting vehicles. Some are trying to mark them up over MSRP, such as GMC. I haven't found a local dealership who's not trying to just price gouge and upcharge for a GMC Hummer EV SUV. I don't know why I want one. Maybe because I drove one when I was younger. We got this 2009 with about 3,400 miles on it. I don't know. I've always liked the Hummer. And the new Hummer EV is no exception. God, box elder bug crap all over the M4. So I don't know, I'm considering selling the M8 because if you watch that video, you guys know that that's not a keeper for me. It's between the color and just, that's basically it, just the color. Besides that, I love the car. And same thing with the iX. I'm not crazy about that interior color, but obviously I'll live with it. I have for almost a year now. And I had intended on doing that for another year, going another winter with it. But I got an opportunity to buy a Hummer EV from a dealership in Fargo. And they, unlike all the other GMC dealers around me, are not gouging or upcharging the price. They have it listed at $20K over sticker, but they're willing to sell at sticker. Unlike these other guys, it's $20, $30, $40, $50,000 over stickers what they're asking, and they're just not willing to budge. So anyway, that's potentially in the works. Probably not, because I sat and checked one out at a local dealership as well as the Minnesota State Fair earlier this year, and I don't know, the build quality is fine, but the quality of the materials on the inside, that makes sense, is very, in my opinion, poor. Just like the material they use for the seats. And then if you ever get a chance, tap on the, whatever it's called, those little T-tops. I mean, if you tap on a normal car, it's glass. If you tap on the T-tops on a Hummer EV, it's there, just like that. I'm hitting my M4's taillight. It's so cheap and plastic feeling. It's unreal. You wouldn't think that they would do something like that for a $100,000 car. So I don't know, between that and I guess the color not being my first choice, plus trade value on these ones, I don't know. Anyway, let's do something more fun and let's wash a car. I did get a new mic. Check this thing out. Hopefully I don't have to hold it all the time, but I felt like it was awkward sitting on my shirt like this. But one cool thing about this mic is I should be able to, you probably can't see me, but hopefully you can hear me. I thought about getting one of these for the last couple of years. I just didn't want to buy it. I'm sitting in the R8 right now, and you hopefully can hear me pretty dang well. And I hope it picks up other detailed stuff too, like this door shut. See, that hopefully sounded nice and clear to you guys. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. I got the boys coming here in a little bit. I intend on washing a few cars today. These two for sure. Hopefully one more, but we'll start with this bad boy. I haven't fully introduced this car or any of the new acquisitions to you guys over the last couple months, so I will do that after we wash. But listen to this real quick. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Challengers, but that is a different mechanism for popping the trunk. It's a lot smoother. Just gonna unplug the battery tender. See what it sounds like when you start it. Wasn't too loud. It's nice having this toy box back to how it is, not full of Halloween crap. Another sweet thing about having this wireless mic is I should be able to talk to you guys when I'm not right in front of the camera. This is a big car. Man, it feels good to be in a Challenger. Something about these cars just... Except for this backup camera, this thing really sucks. So when we're done washing this, I'll give you guys an actual tour of it. I realize I haven't done that for any of the cars here recently. This is one that I put together, I built. The other one I told you about actually hit the dealership yesterday. They just called me and then sent me some photos of it. I thought my pa might want to pick it up, but I don't think he's going to want to. So this might be the only Challenger in the stable, which is fine. This is a good one. So yeah, I will show you this car here in a second. But first, we got to get her cleaned up. Listen to this door shut. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna put this thing down because obviously I can't wash the car with this. I got that. Dang, it sounds good. Okay, I will dry this off camera. A little YouTube magic. That's better. I'm gonna get the boys here already. I'm gonna move it over here, and I want to coat it, and then I will show you guys a little bit about it. Before I give a little walk around tour of it, I'm gonna go around and do some graphene ceramic spray coating.
Damn, boy.
Okay, I need to find a pad still, but what this stuff is, kind of a quick, acts kind of like a quick detail type application, meaning like it just spray on, let it flash, then you wipe it off. So then you go get a applicator pad. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray this on the applicator pad, and I'm gonna work it in like maybe like 2 foot by 2 foot sections. Let that flash for about 30 seconds. Then I'm gonna take a dry towel and I'm gonna buff it off. scratch that. I don't want to do 2x2. I'm going to try to do a whole section because by the time I get to the end here, I should be able to come back here and start buffing it off. And then by the time I get here to this side, it should be flashed. So I'll do that off camera. Actually, scratch that. We're gonna coat this thing and do a little coat and talk, I think. Is that a thing? Coat and talk? Okay, so again, this stuff is just that graphene ceramic spray coating. Let me bring you guys a little bit closer. It's not like a true ceramic coating, it's more of like a cheap, easy, not cheap, or I don't know, I guess it's just an easier version of like a true ceramic coating because it's the application process and everything is just a lot more manageable, meaning like I don't have to use UV lights or do all this other extra stuff that you have to do with the true ceramic coating. Perfect surface and the atmosphere has to be, all this stuff that you don't need to worry about with this stuff. It doesn't last as long, but it does a really good job. So you just spray it on. You got a little build up here. There we go. Sometimes you have to take a razor blade or something and like puncture the spray nozzle because the stuff does harden up. Like a true ceramic coating, it almost acts like a shell or glass. There we go. Just take one little spray. I'm gonna work it into the paint. I don't know if you can see it on camera. The silver's kind of hard. Maybe I come over here to the darker color, you might be able to see it. You just work it in just like you would a wax, go back and forth. Once you see it starts to thin out a little bit does go a long way, but you gotta reapply to your applicator pad. Just keep on going. So let me talk about how this car came to be. About, what was that? Maybe like 9-10 months ago, something like that. I had a Challenger Hellcat JailBreak red eye wide body, which is very similar to this, except this is not a red eye. Difference between the two, you guys all probably know, just more power and more rare and things like that, more money of course too. But speaking of money, I decided to sell that along with my dream car, the 992 911 Turbo. Not that the 992 is my dream car, but the 911 Turbo was always like my dream car. I was finally able to afford one, so I ordered one and it came in about 9 months later. That was a car I'll forever regret selling. But at the time, I was what I felt like way over my head on finances, car payments specifically, because I went hardcore on my mortgage and I paid my house off after about 10 years of living there. That's how I can get all these cars, because I don't have a mortgage at crazy high interest rates. Instead I have cars at crazy high interest rates. But anyway, so I had the 992, the red eye Hellcat wide body JailBreak, right? Yeah, because I built that one. That was when the JailBreak first came out. And a ZL1 that I was all making car payments on. And one day I just was like, you know what, this is ridiculous. Why am I spending all this money on cars each month? And I don't know. So then I contacted a couple dealerships, see what was available. And my local BMW dealership ended up having that BMW M8 up there. Side comment, it's been about, well, you guys are watching this, it's been only a minute or two. Stuff's already flashing, so now I'm just gonna come over here and buff it off. And at the time, car values, specifically like the red eye and the 992, and not so much the ZL1, but cars were outrageously expensive on the secondary market. Even like pickup trucks, now they're like 10% off MSRP. But for a while there, during COVID and all that crap, you guys, I'm sure I'll remember that just the value of used cars was just through the roof. It was unreal. People were able to pay or willing to pay or paying actually. So the value of the red eye, I ended up making, I don't know, like $20,000 on it or something like that. And I had the 992 for almost 2 years at the time. Just bought the ZL1, so I didn't have much equity in that. In fact, I was negative equity on that one. And partially I made so much money on the red eye because subscriber Dave got me in touch with a dealership down in, I think, Iowa, something like that, who were just taking these orders left and right and offering it was like about 10% off MSRP. I was able to get this, $90,000 red eye for, it was like $81,000 out the door or something like that. It was some ridiculous price that's unheard of right now. I took those 3 cars, traded them towards that M8 up there, And you guys maybe you didn't, but if you go back to that video, like I said, maybe 8, 9, 10 months ago, about this time last year maybe, I instantly, just watching those cars leave my little garage here, what the hell am I doing? Instant regret. And even like pulling out my old Challenger, like I'm looking at the headliner and I'm like, man, I forgot this thing even has a suede headliner, and I don't know, it wasn't good. I don't know why I did it. Those cars were like perfect condition. The 992 was more than half paid off. The Red Eye was like a dream car, just like this, but it was a dark gray, and this one's a little bit different wheels and stuff like that. I'll get more into the build on that later. It wasn't more than like a week later, I was already shopping around trying to replace the 3 cars that I just got rid of. So I called around to a bunch of local dealerships, like I said earlier this morning. I don't know what's up with my local dealerships, but they don't really seem to want to do business the fair and proper way. This whole market value thing is just ridiculous. Just sell the car at MSRP and make some money, pay your employees, and do it again in a year or something. So about a week after selling those 3 cars, I'm contacting Dodge dealerships around me like crazy, and even the one that I bought the other one from that I just got rid of, and they don't have an allocation. And everyone that I was talking to, except for the people I got this one from, which was, I think, Maury's. A little bit of a hike away from me, but it wasn't, nothing, it was within the state, which is nice. But all of them except for Maury's was trying to sell the Red Eye at like $50,000 over sticker. So you guys gotta be kidding me. And then several others were trying to sell the non-Red Eye, which is what this is, at like 10 to 15K over sticker. I need a seat. You done with this chair, Kuh?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so they were all selling Red Eyes at 40, 50K over, and normal ones at 10 to like 25K over. So I gave up for a little bit, and then I contacted Maury's, and they too were also wanting like $10,000 over sticker on one of these. And I was like, all right, I guess it's not gonna happen for me. So that's actually how I got the GT500. I started shopping for that because that was another car that I wanted to get added to that trifecta of the ZL1 and the Red Eye that I had, but I just couldn't find one. Again, that a dealership was willing to sell at MSRP. Gave up on the Challenger, bought the GT500, and then it was like a month or so later, I got a call saying that they're willing to do it at MSRP if I commit to the deal. And I was like, all right, not sure why we wanted to waste a month, but yeah, should have done this from the get-go. Would have had this done a while ago. So I placed the order for this one here, and like about a month goes by, and I'm asking for updates because I was getting updates from that Iowa dealership that I got the Red Eye from all the time. Almost every week I was getting an update. They're really nice to work with. Their finance company was terrible. I think I touched base on that a little bit in a previous video, but we can talk about that too if you guys care to hear about that story. Getting updates on this thing, or trying to, was almost like pulling teeth. What is that? A sticker? Eventually I did get some, and they said that the reason that there's a holdup is the stripes. These guys. Am I even in the frame? Sorry about that, guys. Totally forgot you were zoomed in. So yeah, they were saying the stripes is what was holding us off. Like they couldn't put the bill in because of the stripes. And I was like, well, that's a little odd. So we built one without the stripes. And so I was fully prepared to like, okay, I'm gonna get a jailbreak without like the number one indicator that it is a jailbreak, and that's the stripes. Because if you know Red Eyes or Hellcats, I mean, for a while there, they all kind of came the same way, same wheels, one of like 5 different paint choices or something like that. And bonus about doing a jailbreak is that you can customize it a little bit more, like different wheels, different calipers, different color badges here. If stripes weren't an option, then stripes weren't an option. So I was already looking at like aftermarket stripes and found a couple local places that could do it. And I was fully prepared to like just put my own stripes on here, and it was gonna be fine. About 3 weeks later, I get an email from Dodge saying that my car has entered production. I'm like, oh, sweet, this is awesome. That's nice because I've never built a car before. You kind of get, from the manufacturer, you get updates, shipping status, where it is in the production line, things like that. So I get this email saying my car started production. I'm like, great, let's check it out, make sure they got everything right. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, hey, there's stripes on there. My dealer said that it's not gonna have stripes. And within like an hour of getting that email, I got a second email saying my car has entered production. I'm like, what do you mean my car's entered production? Is this a mistake? So I click on that one, and sure enough, it's another triple nickel silver Challenger without the stripes. I contacted the dealership. I'm like, hey, there's been a mistake. I only want the one with the stripes, if you remember. And they're like, yeah, I don't know why they finally accepted it, because they told us that the stripes are not an option right now. I don't know if it was due to supply chain or what. That's what they told me it was, but who knows, because the stripes came to be, they materialized. So, okay, let's cancel the one without the stripes, and let's just hope that the one with stripes actually appears, because they didn't know. They just said, okay, well, I see a build, I see a VIN, which is good news, but it's gone sideways like that before. So we kept the one with the stripes, hoping that it would materialize. And then they also talked me into keeping the one without the stripes, just in case the one with the stripes, something happens with it. So I said, all right, whatever, we'll see what happens. Fast forward a couple months, I get, more updates, like all your vehicles entered or is ready to be shipped. That's what it was. Like, production is complete, your vehicle's ready to be shipped. And it sat like that for probably, I don't know, over a month for sure. It sat over in where they get produced and just sat there. And during that time, I was getting updates on the other one too. And I was like, hey, maybe Pa might want the other one. And he was thinking about it. So during all this time, I still did not scratch the itch with the missing 992 and the ZL1, but Belzer's was willing to build me a ZL1 with the 1LE package and sell it to me at MSRP. So I put an order together for that, nothing down, and it didn't require a down payment, which was nice. But again, I had a written deal for MSRP, and just wait for that guy to come in. Fast forward maybe 6 more months, the Challenger comes in, I take delivery of it, and now we're having this conversation. But during that time, I found, I just dropped my damn towel. That right there, I'll drop it. So during that time, I'm getting updates from Belzer's about the ZL1, and they're saying they don't know if it's gonna happen. That Chevy accepted the deal, and within a few months, it went from 2023 to 2024. And I don't know if you guys follow media when it comes to manufacturers, the strike and all that stuff. Chevy announced that they are no longer doing the 1LE package, I think, because it's the wing that they put on that car. They wanted, They wanted to keep their inventory for those limited edition, kind of like this, a last call, which, by the way, you guys told me the last call badge is in under the hood, so we'll check that out here in a little bit too. So, not knowing what the outcome would be for the ZL1 that I wanted to replace the other ZL1 with, I had a really sweet build set up too. It was like shark skin gray, I think was the name of the color. So it was a nice gray, kind of like the M4 actually. Black interior, the 1LE package. It was just going to be a really sweet addition to the stable. But without knowing, hey, if this order is going to ever materialize, I just decided, let's go ahead and look for something. I had a few doubts about that 1LE package anyway. I keep reading online that this is not a very comfortable car to drive at all. Like, you don't want to drive it in the streets. I don't track my cars, although I think I might start doing that with some of them. I had a dream the other day that I was tracking them, and it was just really sweet. I don't know. Anyway, so I found that 1LE, or that ZL1 over there, that you guys haven't really seen yet, which we'll do a video here soon as well. And the second itch was scratched. So within a matter of honestly, about a week, this guy came in and the ZL1 was purchased. So my credit score was taking a big hit because I financed my cars. I was a little nervous because at the same time, or I should say during all this also, trying to scratch the 992 itch, I finally, for whatever reason, Motorworks was having a hard time getting an allocation for M4. And I was first in line for about, believe it or not, it was more than a year and a half. It was almost 2 years that I was, hey, you're next in line. As soon as we get an allocation, you get it. And I don't know if it was supply chain issues, but they just, for whatever reason, could not get an allocation for an M4, or they were giving it to someone else, who knows. After 2 years of waiting for that, finally got the build for the M4, which I will do another video on as well. So there was 3 cars added to the stable within a month and a half. It's fun, exciting stuff, but it's expensive, and it takes its toll on my credit score. But it's okay, I pay my bills, we're all good there. Just can't wait for another year or two down the road, because I don't plan on selling any of these cars that I've gotten. I'll finally get some positive equity. I'll try to pay as much as I can, which currently is about the minimum, but give it a couple of years and things will start looking better. I'm really glad that this car materialized. It's one of my favorite cars. In fact, I kept the WeatherTech mats from my previous one because I was like, I'm gonna replace that one day. Not right now, but one day. Not knowing that one day would be in a week, or that I'd be shopping for it in a week. But I kept the mats on this car because, again, I thought I would get one again one day, and I'm really glad I did. This is a really nice build. It's different than the last 2 Challengers I had. I've had, for those who don't know, this is my 3rd one. I had a Hellcat wide body. I think I got a slight discount on that. And then that was just this is around my birthday, and I was like, you know what, I really want this car. I'm gonna treat myself. Really liking that car. Did a good number of videos on that. I did a couple launches. I think I did a 0 to 100 in that car. A video for you guys. That was pretty fun to do. So yeah, the Challengers for a long time has been a car that I've really enjoyed having and detailing and stuff. Speaking of detailing, it's nice to be doing this again. It's like a therapeutic escape. You know, you got work, you got hobbies and kids, and I coach soccer and all this stuff, and it just becomes a lot at times. But doing this, though I'm sweating right now, I really enjoy it. So if you're watching this right, you'll see that I'm kind of going back and forth, up and down, left and right, going over to the same area once or twice, because I want to get this coating as even as I can, even though it doesn't level itself like a ceramic coating. I mean, a little bit, but I just want to make sure every square speck of this car is coated that can be. You can even coat things like this gas cap. I'm just going to get that hydrophobic protection on there. Even these window seals and stuff. Just coat it all. Then I'll do a glass coating on the glass itself. Even get down here, little rockers. I'm just going to make the cleaning process a lot easier. Next time I got to clean this car, which will be sometime in the spring, I'm sure. So it gives a nice matte finish. Oh, the camera's picking that up. It should be. I try to also do it one panel at a time so I know where I stopped. Like I know I stopped right in this little body panel seam right here. Might go over a little bit, but that's okay. I'll just come back and get it a second time. And I am coating a clear wrap. I do wrap all my cars in this clear film, so I'm actually protecting the protector of the car, but still makes it easier to clean. I don't like when my cars get rained on, but if they do get rained on, you know, look outside and see all that rain, whether it's acid rain or just pollen rain, whatever, it's all beads right off. You want to make sure you wipe this stuff off quickly, meaning don't let it sit for as much as you would for like wax. Like wax, you want it to sit. It's been so long. What was it, like 10, 20 minutes, something like that? Maybe not that long, depends on the wax, I suppose. They got better as, you know, technology became involved and things didn't have to cure as long. Still spraying the applicator pad. Hopefully the camera's picking this up. You should see a light film on the car. It's pretty hard to see on silver. A million box elders around here, so it's nice getting all this box elder crap off of this car. When you do coat this stuff, if you decide to, you don't want to drive it for a while. The longer you can let it cure, the better. So if you can, you know, do it at night, if you're in your garage or whatever, and you're applying this, you know, it's good to apply it, remove it, and then don't touch your car for the rest of the night, if you can help it. Otherwise, you know, it's no big deal. It just won't have the same effect as it would if you didn't touch it. The protection's there right away. As soon as you get the stuff on there and wipe it off, the protection's there, but letting it cure, if possible, is always preferred. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right at the center line. By the time I come down here, should be good to go. Ooh, Miami and Kansas City are 14 to 21. I don't know if you can see this. Watch as I wipe this off, just the finish that it leaves. Look at that, just a real deep, rich, matte finish. Whew. Really like this stuff. Adams, if I haven't mentioned it already, is my favorite product. I used to work with Zano all the time, and then moved to like Griot's Garage, then McGuire's. I met the Adams crew at a Barrett Jackson event a couple years back, and just looking at the product, I was like, dang, this is some nice stuff. This is when they were brand new. I don't even know if they had they had an online store, but they didn't have like a brick and mortar store that I'm aware of. I don't know if they still do, actually. Ignore what I'm saying. Maybe they just sell online. After the Griot's Garage and Zano phase, I started getting into more higher end stuff. Found that Obsessed Garage guy, Matt's his name, and he's kind of like me in a way where he wants to use the best of the best. If you're gonna spend money on something, might as well spend it on something that's really good, right? So then he introduced the detailing world into like MTM and Krenzel and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure he didn't introduce it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, people follow that. And that's how people like me learn about those things. Now it's my whole arsenal. Except Adams, found that on my own. There's a few bubbles in here from the clear wrap. Don't care for that. Got the boys detailing in the background. We've been doing Halloween crap so much that most of us haven't cleaned cars in months. Stuff's going on really well. I think the atmosphere in here, the temperature and the humidity is pretty spot on. So you don't want to apply this stuff like in sunlight or whatever. But you don't want to apply it when it's too damp. I've done this stuff before. I go to, I apply it just like this, and within seconds it's become like almost sticky. And you almost have to rewash the car to get it off. That's why you want to work in small sections like this. I mean, maybe even smaller. I'm just impatient. Very sweet if Dodge came out with a retrofit that allows them to upgrade this backup camera, because it is probably the worst in the industry. It's nuts. My buddy has a Jeep Compass, a 22, I think, and that's worth a lot less than this. And this backup camera is freaking awesome. The TRX, same family, like a Dodge Ram, same family, and like same thing with Jeep. Has an awesome backup camera. Don't know why Dodge went cheap on this. And I think even the Durango has a nice backup camera. The Hornet that I saw at the auto show, that had a nice backup camera. I just don't get it why they go cheap on this flagship muscle car that's probably one of their top sellers, the Challenger and Charger, more so than the Durango. And what else is there? Like the Dart. I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. I bet the Hornet will sell pretty good for them. Do you guys like these types of videos where I talk and ramble sometimes? It's nice to give some introduction and some transparency to how we acquire our cars, me personally. It goes through our mind when we're picking one out or building one. If you don't, let me know. Tell me to shut up and just wash. I think I left off right about here. Double up just in case. I'll stop right at the door. About an hour before I gotta take off. But I'm gonna be coming back, so I wanna do another, hopefully the M4 at least. I was hoping to wash 3 today, but we'll see what we can do. I got the boys here washing also, so I gotta not get in their way. Overlap just a little bit, because I don't know where I got. Pretty sure I overlapped on the other side too, but again, it's okay if you double up. If you layer this stuff, it's even better. Kind of like waxing your car, you put, back in the day, I would put like 5 or 6 coats of Zano Z5 on. That's more of like a filler also, is a swirl remover. But then I'd cover it with like 5 layers of wax. And that thing would just sheet like, or bead like crazy. I remember that my first car, I got it, actually my parents bought it for me. Because what 16-year-old can buy their own car like that? Love it or hate it, that's the truth. And they gave it to me at, I was like 5 days before turning 16. So I couldn't drive it, even though I did. So I'd spend most of my time though, however, detailing it. So I got washed 1,000 times, not 1,000, what I'm saying. I got washed like probably 3 times total before I could even legally drive it on the road. But it also got Z5 polished, waxed with the Zano wax like 12 times or so before it even hit the road. So that car was immaculate from the moment I got it. It's crazy thinking back all these years. What started it was me as a punk little kid watching my dad take delivery of a 98 GTS Viper. That's how I learned to drive a manual in. And ever since I was just like, man, these cars are great. I had like the Matchbox, even like micro machines in like the early 90s, late 90s maybe. Cars were always something that consumed my life, even though it's not the industry that we're in. My dad had a old Cuda that he drove around high school. He said like 200,000 miles on that car, and he washed it every week and waxed it. So maybe it's in my blood to enjoy cars. Got it from him. So that 98 GTS I was telling you about, watching him get delivery of that and drive it around. He drove me to school in it and stuff like that. That's what I learned to drive a manual on, I mentioned. He taught me when I was like 12 years old. What dad will let a 12-year-old drive a Viper GTS? Well, if he hadn't, we might not be having this conversation right now. One thing I've learned over the last year or so is I think I would rather have a car of like this caliper, this price range, than something higher. That Aston Martin, have you guys seen me have that? I sold that to a local Mercedes dealership, actually traded it. So my dad got rid of his 488 because it had a oil leak that we were quoted $30,000 to repair. And say, okay, well, I don't want to put $30,000 into a car, but hindsight's 2020. We probably should have just done that, because then we'd have it. But at the time, you know, he wasn't really thinking that it was worth it, and he regrets it now, by the way. That was one of the cars that he wishes he kept, because we bought that one used. I say we because him and I bought it together. We were the second owner of it, and it only had like 30 miles on it when we bought it. Some of these guys, you know, they're just wealthy as hell. They buy a car. I mean, we're willing to talk. Some of these don't have many miles on them, but we do drive them. And then it just sat at the dealership for like a year or two, and then he just decided to sell it. So we bought it. So we traded that car plus the Aston Martin in on the SL63, which you guys haven't even seen yet. All right, let that flash. I think I did this panel already, but I'm gonna do it again because I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I did though. Oh well, we'll do it again. I'm committed at this point. Anyway, so what I'm getting at is I don't want to have that caliper of vehicle, I think, at least not at this point in my life, where I could get this plus the ZL1 almost for the same price as that Aston Martin. You can say to yourself, well shoot, that's because it's an Aston Martin, and this is a Dodge, and that's a Chevy. It's like, yeah, that's true, but I didn't really get it more enjoyment out of that Aston Martin than I do out of this. This has so much more character than that, and that's why like I want to replace the 911 really badly, but the same sense is like I'm not in a position to spend, you know, $250,000 on a car right now when I can take that same money, invest it into something else, or get a car that's not as expensive, like a GT500, or I don't know, the M8's just as fast, not as badass, but it's really quick. I don't know, I'm rambling here, but we're almost done with this, and then I'll give you guys the tour. What do you guys think of this car though so far? I'm glad it came in when it did, you know, not into the winter time. I need to get some license plate frames for it. Right now there's nothing. I had my BMW guy looking at getting some for me, because he has whoever makes the BMW frames, I don't know who they use, but they're like my favorite because they have the little cap that covers up the screws. It threads on there instead of snaps on. The ones that snap on are just, you snap them on and off once or twice and they're almost shot if you don't do it right. Threaded ones, I don't know, they just look nicer, they feel nicer, they're just better. So I'm trying to get some like matte black license plate frames for this thing. I'm gonna fold your towel once in a while, but stuff just wipes off really well if you get it early enough. Again, I've had it even here at the toy box where the conditions aren't ideal, and I have to like use CS3 to remove it. And it just looks like crap until you wash it again. I miss my red eye. Too bad I couldn't get one of those. I mean, I could, but 50,000 over MSRP, no thanks. I get emails once in a while from like Fury and other dealerships saying, oh, your Challenger's market value has gone way up. We'd like to buy it back from you. It'd be a perfect candidate for our inventory and things like that. It's like, yeah, well, that was 3 Challengers ago, sorry. You know what, I might just get I think I'm gonna get the glass too with this stuff. Yeah, why not? Usually I like doing that glass sealant, but that's what's been pissing me off lately. Here, I'm just gonna spray it on. Anywhere it oversprays, I'm just gonna rub it in. Get the blades. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't use my wipers, so shouldn't be a problem. I gotta clean the inside of my glass. We're gonna do this quick because I'm gonna go around. By the time I'm done, I should be able to go after the windshield. I can see it already flashing. All right, guys, almost done. I just gotta buff off the glass, and then I'll show you guys a little around the car. I love these border-free towels from Adams also. You'll notice I did not do the towel method on the wash this time. I think I'll use that when I have a lot of concern over scratching the car or just maybe lack of time, because just the normal wash mitt does a really good job. It's what I've been doing for decades, actually. And the towel method is nice too, but man, you go through So many towels. I plan on washing 3 cars today. Be like 20 towels. Then I gotta wash the towels and fold the towels. Okay, so ignore the streak marks when I'm giving you guys the walk around tour. I'll get those here a little bit better. This is a 2023 Challenger Hellcat wide body jailbreak. Ooh, speaking of jailbreak, speaking of that, you guys said that there is a badge underneath the hood. That's where that last call badge should be. Where are you? There you are. Oh, there's still some protection under here. Here it is. Check this out. So I gotta take this off real quick. Let's do that. Probably should have did that when I first got the car. And then here's that last call badge. Look at that. Take this piece off. Oh snap, you hear that? Get the mic close to that. Cheap plastic. Anyway, there's the last call badge, right? Yeah, there it is, last call. Cool. I gotta clean this engine bay up. All that crap in there. Glad we found that. Anyway, 2023 Challenger SRT Hellcat wide body jailbreak. It's a real long name, but this is a triple nickel exterior color. But they call the paint triple nickel, like a triple nickel metallic. It's a silver. So you can zoom in here. See that metallic flake in there? I like silver and gray cars. That hasn't been obvious, only because they don't show flaws and stuff as easily. So I went with the triple nickel paint and the black interior. Let's talk about the exterior first, I guess. Some of the things you could do with the jailbreak is you can customize this. I mean, that is what the jailbreak is all about. You can do such as like these badges right here. You can select one of 3 colors for that. You know, on the front there and this little side badge too. And stripes, there's like 5 or so colors available for that. So I did go with the midnight. I wanted to do that silver and black two-tone theme. The midnight metallic exterior badging, I think is what it's called. You can get it in like copper, you can get it in standard. Standard is more of a kind of a gray. This is a gray too, but they call it midnight metallic. It has a little flake to it. See if you can see that. And then for the stripes, they have a few different options, such as like carbon, silver, gunmetal, gray, I think red, maybe blue might be there's a lot of stripes options, but I went with the gunmetal. They are more of like if you guys are familiar with the Chevy carbon flash, they are like that. They do come as a matte finish. This is gloss because I did have the boys at Solar Shield wrap the whole thing, and even going over the stripes, you get some stuff like that where you get a little pocket, but it makes those once matte stripes look gloss, which I think looks better than matte. And then on the outside too, you have maybe, I'm just guessing, I think you have like 5 wheel options to go to. And I always had the Devil's Rim. My last one had the Devil's Rim and like a copper color type. Not copper like brown, but no, that's right. It was supposed to be that copper, but they messed up and they ended up coming in as gray. So I had like gray wheels with a copper badge. It was nasty. But these ones are new for me. They're just called the Split 5-spoke low gloss black, I think they are. These brakes produce a ton of brake dust, so I wanted to have a black wheel versus the gray like last time. And having that matte finish looks really sharp, I think. And I think the last thing on the outside was just the spoiler. They come with one option. This is a little bit of a larger option. It just looks nicer to me, a little more sporty. Finishes off the back end. Everything else I can show you guys is on the inside. Let me get this camera off. Oh shoot, actually, scratch that. You can also pick like one of 3 color calipers. And wanting to go with that black and silver theme, I went with the black calipers. They say these are black. It is more of a like a gray. You know, like look at the wheels. The wheels are black. That's almost like a gunmetal gray. Here's a better look at that midnight metallic badging. Let's get on the inside. There's more options in here than there are on the outside, I think. Starting with the Laguna leather package. These typically come with like a half, like a fake suede insert. And then like a leather. You can choose to upcharge or upgrade to the Laguna package. That just comes with full leather, like in the back and the front. Nice stitching on the dash as well as the door panels. Here's my old mats that I was talking about from my old Challenger. You'll be happy to know I got the pedals on there very easily this time. I was just new when I did the first time, I guess. The carbon fiber, the exposed or real carbon fiber, I think they call it, trim package. It's just like a plastic with a carbon fiber look on it. It's, you know, this is a Dodge after all. It's not a BMW, but I don't even know if that carbon fiber is real because it's only $300. But anyway, this real carbon fiber package as well as the infotainment upgrade. The only difference I think with that is comes with navigation, which I don't know if I did actually. The leather wrap steering wheel with the, I think this lights up white at night, even though it looks pretty chrome, so maybe I am confused. I thought I stuck to the leather with white, but maybe not. And I did the suede headliner just to bring in a little touch of class into the car, as well as the 18 speakers. The audio system in this car is pretty incredible actually. Things rattle because you know it is just cheap plastic, but it sounds really sharp. And I think that's it that I can think of. Nice little jailbreak sign right there. Ties in with the red speedo and tachometer. It's a very nice car. Bang for your buck. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Starts off at like $66,000, and this is optioned all the way up to like 93 or something like that. But again, if you can find yourself a dealership that doesn't gouge you over MSRP and you have the budget, this is a very nice car to have. It's huge. It's physically very large. Look how far I have to back up compared to some of these other cars. It's a very big car, but it's a lot of car too. Get out of here. There's not an angle of this car that doesn't look good. This is probably my favorite though, that front quarter angle. So what do you guys think? This is the new Challenger added to the stable. It's gonna be a keeper. I know I say that all the damn time, but I'm done trading cars as often as I had, as I'm talking about trading this car and the M8. Ignore what I just said, okay? I'm in the near future, I don't foresee this, the GT500, or the ZL1, or the ZL6, or the M4, forgot about that guy, leaving the stable anytime soon. Unless something really sharp comes out and I have to trade something for it, these cars are gonna be here for a long, long time. Getting minimal use, but getting some use. I wanna get at least a tank of gas through them all each season. Yeah, look at this thing. Just a beast. All right, a little bit of a different video for you. Did a little mixture of the edit with the car wash and then wash and talk with the detail spray. Hope you guys like that. Let me know if you do. Otherwise, let me know what you want to see next. I got a scoop, but I'll be back. I'm gonna do the M4 today and the ZL1 and the GT500 at some point here really soon. God, it's a good looking car. All right. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.